Right, and so let's talk about this one from CJ then, shall we? We're not going to watch the entire video. I just want to speak about a couple of points that he made here at two different parts of the video that I think are worth talking about because they show the real grifting in this space, right? You know, there's a lot of the allegations of grifting coming from Saint and his community and parts of the Wuthering Waves space that's incredibly toxic and incredibly vocal. And we're not talking about the grander Wuthering Waves space because we know it's not them, right? But it is coming from within that space, but we know it's a subset toxic part that's led by the Bannerlord and that Saint, right? And it is grifting. Like, to call somebody like Cap a Enfield grifter, it's kind of asinine because she's made like maybe 1 or 2 videos. If she was grifting, she'd be consistently making videos on the game for the sole reason of making money without actually giving a damn about the game. Now, I don't know if she gives a damn about the game, but she's definitely not like farming the game, right? But there's 2 points in this video that show perfectly how Saint kind of grifts with this game, right? Now, we've said this before, and I think you'll find within the Arknights Enfield community, or at least the people who aren't being silly, right, that people are actually quite critical of this game, hypercritical in fact actually, and especially the people who've come from the Arknight space. I think they're even more critical than any of the people coming into the game from other communities because they expect so much, whether that's fair right now or not, but the expectation's there. It's just a fact, right? And I'm one of those people who expect a lot. So this idea that it's just a super toxic positive space, I just don't buy into, right? But what we can safely say with Saint and a couple of orbiters of his, that this is pure agenda driven from the side of rage bait, right? This isn't about the dude feels personally this way about the game, or at least I don't think. I can't really honestly say that because I'm not in dude's head, and fuck would I want to be, because damn, that would be a scary time. I could never imagine that. I'd want to backflip in front of a double-decker bus in Minecraft if that was the case. But this is a guy who has apparently been playing this game so much, was ahead of everybody else quite early on, and he was quite advanced in his account quite early on. Bearing in mind the fact that he didn't play massive amounts on stream, which was, I always thought, found a little bit interesting, right? And then there's a clip that I haven't been able to find again, but you might have seen it. And if you don't believe me, you don't believe me. I'll try and find it at some point and we can watch it. But there's a clip of Saint just not understanding the basics of the inventory in this game, of moving items from your backpack into your pack, right? And if you've interacted with most just other video games that have inventory systems, you know, you'd probably understand that you don't have to drag individual items, especially even more so when, like, right at the bottom of your backpack, there's a fucking tab that says quick stash, right? That says quick stash, and you can actually drag stacks across. Well, not drag, like quick select stacks across instantly in our Arknights anyway. And that was the first indicator. I was like, does bro genuinely play this game off stream? Or does he have a pilot? Does he have a proper account manager? And then we started to see his gameplay. Now, I'm not one of these people claiming to be insane at the game, right? I'm not, when it comes to PvE games, I don't sweat them. I just play them and I have fun, right? I've only trimmed my medals on the first Umbral Monument side at the minute. I haven't actually attempted to trim the models on the right side, but I'm going to do that. I don't claim to be this guy that's, you know, done all of the content at the highest level, okay? I'm still pretty much on a free-to-play team, even though I've spent money because I haven't pulled on the banners. But that was things that I was like, okay, this doesn't look like a person who actually is playing the game. And then we see clips like this from CJ kind of just really confirm that, right? Now, Saint's like level 56, 57 or something like that. And at that level, you would think you'd have, you know, even if you don't know the most efficient ways to do things, you'd at least have a basic understanding of the systems, right? Just a simple understanding of the systems, because artificing and etching in this game, it's not really complicated, right? It's a pretty self-explanatory system. If you've gone through actually unlocking the systems, the game kind of explains it to you, and it's like, okay, All right. Now, there's obviously going to be people who are going to be able to min-max the shit out of it and show you how to do it at the fastest way possible and get in the materials as quick as possible and all that sort of stuff. We know what it's like, right? To not, like, even have a basic comprehension of it. A little bit sus, right? Let's just watch these clips here a second.
I'd like to know. Now, this is a video from Mr. Tauntas, the absolute peak in Arknights Enfield content. The #1 content creator for Arknights Enfield. He knows everything. If you want to know anything about Arknights Enfield, you absolutely want to watch Mr. Tauntas. Let's go ahead and hear
it's the guy to go to, right?
What he had to say.
You want to hear insults about the devs?
Low-key even forgot that gear artificing was in the fucking game, bro. I low-key forgot this shit was in the fucking game. I'm just gonna be so for real with you. Great, I got to artifice this.
Now bear in mind, look at his mats here, you know? He's got everything he needs apart from the other gear components, right? So, I forgot about it, right? Now, watch, he doesn't know what he's doing here, but he's got all the components to make it happen, which is a little odd, right? You know, that's like having the lettuce, the ham, the butter, the bread, and being like, well, how does sandwiches work? What do I do? Where does, wait, do I put the butter on the bread? What's going on? You know?
Great, I don't even gear to consume. What the fuck? No gear selected? Bro, I don't even know how to do this shit. Bro, wait, how do you even fucking do this?
Bearing in mind, this is not complicated. So this is not a game issue, right? This is not a game issue.
Wait, I need to make a copy of it? Artificing progress? What is this? You're telling me this system is better than Echoes?
Yes. Don't get me wrong, especially when it comes to the essence etching, yeah. I would like, you know, what are they called? The permits. You know the permits you buy? I'd like them to be a little bit cheaper. They're fucking expensive, right? But yeah, fundamentally, it's a better system. Now, that's as basic as it gets, right? Now, if this dude had been playing the game as much as he claims he had, this is a really weird thing to just not understand. Even if you'd unlocked it hours ago and hadn't interacted with it, and remember, this guy talks about how amazing his memory is, right? I find it incredibly interesting and a little bit sus, if you ask me.
This is your guy? This is the guy that you guys watch for Arknights Enfield information? This is...
But let's be honest, and I know CJ knows this, majority of people who are watching Saints Enfield videos aren't there for the information. You've got the people who are there to watch the hate because he's got a certain subsection of an audience that just likes to hate everything, right? If it's not Wira, they want to see it insulted constantly because it makes them feel better for some reason, because it's a weird trait to have. And then you've probably got other people who are getting pulled in by the algorithm who maybe are fans or a little bit in between and maybe getting rage baited, right? This content, for the most part, when it comes to Saints around Enfield, it's pure rage bait. And if you haven't figured that out yet, I'm here to tell you that's the deal, because this is what this content is, right? It's purely to drive clicks to the channel, because honestly, now this dude gets a lot more views than me, but this is his career, so I would hope he would if he's going to pay the bills with it, right? But his trajectory in terms of sub gains, viewer gains, all this sort of stuff, it's not exactly on the up and up, right? Kind of interesting, and it was kind of in that sort of state prior to Enfield, and then Enfield dropped and he pumped out loads of videos and they were skyrocketing, like they were doing really well. And then the drama happened, obviously, and I think just those coming together, I don't think they've really done him massive positives, to be fair. Anyway, I don't really care about how many views you get, if I'm honest, it doesn't bother me. Actually, we could probably continue just watching from that clip, right? Let's go to here. Let's get to here.
Know what they're for. You just didn't. You bought them because shit, that looks shiny,
right? Dude's got 240 of them and doesn't know what the deal is. Doesn't know that you need other gear, right, to feed into the gear. It's like a really simple system, right? It's a really simple system. You probably get most of your levels by doing dailies, however, he probably has an account manager. Oh, for sure. And look, I have got no issue with content creators having pilots, having account managers, right? Because making content requires, especially if you're trying to be at the forefront of multiple games, requires you to have more time than you're ever going to have. And if you've got the money to pay somebody to play your account, have at it. Just be honest about it, right? That's all I'll say. And don't use that as some form of argument that I have the knowledge to talk about how bad this game is throughout, and everybody else doesn't play it, and they're idiots and they're grifters and they're lying to you. I'm the guy that's actually playing the game, but I don't know how basic things like artificing gear works, right? Or I don't know how to move items from my backpack to my pack quickly, and I'm literally missing the big button that says quick stash, right? And just having some basic experience with inventories in other games, because the keys binds are there to allow you to do things that you can do in a lot of other games, right? It's just like, that's what it is with me, you know? It's like, honestly, so many content creators do it. Have at it. If you want your account built for the new content, but you're main in other games, makes sense, right? Makes sense. But just don't pretend that you know more than everybody and that you're the guy to come to. These guys don't even play the game. And then dude comes to Artificing Gear and he's like, what the fuck is this? It's like, what are we doing? You know?
You bought 240 of these and you didn't know it was for artificing. You forgot it was in the game. Yeah.
Right? You know, it's almost like he didn't actually buy them. His account manager bought them and forgot to tell him exactly how to artifice gear. So when he does it on stream, he ended up looking like a tit.
Sure, bucko. Hold on. I want to show you guys something else, right? I want to show you guys a little bit some. If you guys pay attention to this fetus's video, you will see that down here you can see
all the different like creative insults CJ comes up with, man.
His
fucking
account
fetuses.
UID. You will see that you could see his account UID. If this wasn't enough, we have another video where you can see his account UID. This right here is Bobby Lee's account UID. Now, this is his account in Arknights Enfield. You guys,
which is interesting. Like, you know this here. Typically, I'd look at that and I'd be like, whatever. You know, some people just don't bother with their profile. Like in a lot of games, I don't, right? It's like, it's whatever. But he was actually going through, I don't know if it was his friends list or it was Pokey's friends list from a video. And I think the top person on the friends list, their profile looked like this. They hadn't put any of their operators on showcase. They hadn't added any of their medals. And he was just like, huh, so this is how much these people care about playing this game. Just an interesting thing, right? This itself doesn't mean much to me. It just means that, you know, it's kind of what you'd expect somebody who's maybe piloting your account would do. Because they don't necessarily know what you want to slap in here. I'll just play the game for him and let him play it on stream, you know?
We'll see that it has the same UID right here that these two have. This is his account. He's level 55. He's found 87 files. And everything else is where everybody's at, right?
Yep.
Exploration level, value.
And doesn't know how to artifice gear. Doesn't know how to move gear from your backpack to your pack, right? Again, as I say, I think it's quite clear, right? And again, I don't think it's necessarily a problem to have an account manager, to have a pilot, but to then argue yourself as a voice of authority, continually and constantly shit on the game. It's just a bad look, right? If you're gonna have an agenda, at least attempt to, like, I don't know, do it with some gusto, you know, not to be so obvious, because as I said, it's clear it's an agenda, right? Again, you might not like Arknights Enfield, and I'm not here to tell you you're wrong, because if you don't like it, you don't like it, right? I've had plenty of people who I respect massively and respect their views on games, tried the game and been like, not for me. Makes sense, right? Just because I don't like a game doesn't mean the game is objectively bad. There is objective issues with this game that need fixing, right? The idea that this guy, this little manlet, is the man who's been honest and open about all of the things that are wrong with the game, it's just not true. Doesn't mean that in his diatribe of insults, right, that he can't be right, because a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Don't mean the fucking clock's working and he's gonna let you know when you need to be up for work, right? It's just clear as day. And like, it just makes, look, anybody who's been following recent trends, right? You know, Saint is a dent. Dude's an idiot. He's a massive, cringy weirdo. Right? And I'm not even saying that as banter, right? It's just not. Because if you've watched him, he's weird. He's a weird guy, and he's cringy. And it just makes him look even more dented and cringy. But I suppose at least with this stuff, he's making money off it, right? But trust me, it's not for the benefit of the game in any sort of way. Like CJ goes on here to obviously show off his account and stuff as well, which like he's got a bunch of trim medals and stuff, which you know, I haven't gone through all of that myself in regards to the trim medals, if you will, but I know how to I know how to artifice gear, and I know how to move items from a backpack. It's a pretty obvious situation where we're at, right? This dude, right, he's just here to rage bait the hyper grift community, the Arknights community, if you will, right? Because you look at his content, look at the stuff that tends to get more views now, right? And even that shit doesn't really get that many views. Bro's views are down a lot, man. 11k views 3 days ago from Mr. Metrics. From Mr. Metrics, right? Kind of crazy that, really. Like, again, views don't bother me at all because, as I say, this isn't my livelihood. But from a dude who's obsessed with metrics, it's crazy to see his metrics are not exactly doing brilliantly at the moment, you know? A Wuthering Waves video here, Goodbye Sigrika, 16k views. Man's killing it. 16k. Right, it's time to quit Enfield, 22k. Right? These views are just not insane. He gets the odd video here and there that kind of pops off, right? But his average views now are like 15 to 25k, where I could have swore, if we go back 4 months or so, I'm sure his views were at more like 30 to 60k per video, right? It's anecdotal. I'm not going to go back and look at everything because I truly cannot be arsed. But from a guy who's constantly talking about metrics and keeps referencing, he won the drama because all of his ops, like he's a roadman, he likes to say, their views are down. But a lot of us have views are never crazy anyway. Of course they were higher when we were clapping at Saint because lots of people fucking hate the dude, right? So of course we're going to get more views. And also you got to take into account there's going to be, because I've got viewers like that, don't want to listen to this shit, so they'll back off from those videos, won't get notified about the non-drama videos, and you know, but like, I don't care anyway. I don't care if I get 5 views on a video or 50,000. It doesn't bother me. But from a dude who you know it does bother, to see these numbers must be hurting, you know, must be really, really hurting. His views are down, like say here, the last week, 2.9%, even though he's spamming content, right? Yeah, man, it's not looking spectacular for Mr. Metrics, if I'm honest. And again, that might seem, well, I know the response back from Saint to be like, bro, you only get like 3k views when you talk about me. Okay. It's like, yeah, you're not incorrect. It's like, it doesn't hurt me though. You know? And over a fact, when your Oilers have gone, because they will one day go, they won't be there forever, right? Because just the kind of person you are, they will go. And nobody keeps an Oiler forever. The sponsorships, apart from like the LD sponsorships, seem to have dried up. The views are drying up, and bro's burnt so many bridges and attacked so many communities. If the Wuthering Waves train eventually leaves the station and doesn't want to be bothered with him, the major part of that community, where does he have to go? Like, where does he have to go? Do you know what I mean? Like, dude's salted the earth wherever he's gone. So, you know, this is why he's doing what he's doing now. Because he knows what he's done. He has to keep this up. As I say, he's got a viewer base that desire it. They want it. They want him to shit on Hoyo and on Hypergriff and on any game that potentially can challenge their little safe space that they think is Wuthering Waves, right? And anybody who speaks up in defiance, they want them to go after them as well. Other than that, they really don't care. Because you seen it in CJ's video, I don't know if it was in this one, or when he switched from Enfield and just went to playing Wuthering Waves, the views just went like that in his stream. You know? Why? Because those people don't care about watching him play Wuthering Waves unless it's like something good going on, or dudes shitting on another game, which, hey, people have built long careers off that. I don't think this guy's going to do it, though. But as I say, I think it's just pure agenda. It's hate traffic. That's all the dudes trying to generate from Arknights Enfield at the moment. It's clear as day. And you know what? I am not offended by it in the slightest. And I don't think majority of the Enfield community are, because I think most of them are quite critical of the game anyway, if I'm honest. And they'll accept criticism. But I think most people can also clearly see as well the agenda. Some people hide it well and rage bait people quite well, right? Because they actually genuinely look like they're either stupid or they're misunderstanding. I think people can see exactly what bro's doing, right? So it's just not even impacting anymore, because they're like, okay, he's going to say some dumb shit. He's going to bring up Google Trends. He's going to bring up Twitch Tracker. He's going to go to the category for the game. He's going to talk view botting. He's going to talk gacha. He's going to talk devs are retarded. And it's the same video over and over and over and over again. Bro's got nothing left, right? Again, do you know what it goes back to?
Just me.
That's why bro stalks Captain Cabinets at this day, because he's got nothing left, man. Bro's got nothing left.